So after last week's NXT show, which I thought was very good, mainly because of that main event segment and the debut of Finn Balor and the way they did all that, I was wondering, but last week was really good, but will they be able to top themselves this week? And you can imagine my buzz when the show actually opened up with Finn Balor on mic. The guy has a pretty cool entrance. It's kind of Ascension-esque, ironically, but he says that he's in NXT because he feels he's the future. And we didn't really get time to say much, which I felt was a real shame because I wanted to hear a little bit about this guy, get to know a little bit about this guy on the mic. And it just makes me wonder, with Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel doing most of the mic work in this opening promo segment, it just makes me wonder whether he is any good on mic or not. I haven't really seen much of him. You guys, if you know anything about him, tell me if he's any good on mic. But the way they set up this segment, maybe they're trying to compensate for the fact that he isn't very good on mic. I don't know. But I wish we could have got to know a little bit more about Finn Balor. Strike while the iron is hot. I was really buzzed when he opened the show. Then when Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel come out, I was kind of like, But it did lead to a tag team match when Hideo Itami hit the ring and the heels back off after they go and try and beat down on Finn Balor. One thing I'll say about this opening segment, though, that kind of annoyed me a little bit is you had Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel ganging up on Finn Balor in the ring, and then they get in the ring, they put him in a corner, and then Hideo Itami's music hits. He doesn't come running out. He just comes strolling out as he usually does, and I'm just thinking, guys, you've got about 10-15 seconds here to beat up on Finn Balor. Just fucking do it. But no, they back off. Even though Hideo Itami is just strolling down to the ring. Just one of these elements of pro wrestling that I feel are, really isn't based in reality. And I feel they really need to get rid of that element. But a decent opening promo segment which set up to our opening match. As we know, the main event of the evening was going to be Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville. That didn't really need hyping up. It was all done last week after Sami Zayn won the #1 contendership. It led to Hideo Itami and Finn Balor versus Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. The match itself didn't go on for too long. It didn't really have too many spots. It was just exactly what the match needed to be. It was a showcase for Finn Balor. It was a way for him to get his first win in NXT and start off his NXT career in a good way. That's all that it needed to be. You're establishing Hideo Itami and Finn Balor compete a tag team that has actually competed in the WrestleMania pre-show in Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel, and so they can probably have a good chance at defeating the Ascension, which I imagine is what will happen at the next NXT special show. So this opening segment, in my opinion, achieved exactly what it needed to do. Really quite buzzed about Finn Balor right now, I really am. So Sasha Banks defeated Alexa Bliss while busting her nose in the process by the looks of it, and this was really nothing more than a semi-enhancement match and a way to get to a Sasha Banks promo in the middle of the ring. Sasha Banks wants one thing and one thing only. She wants what Charlotte has, and that is the NXT Women's Championship. So it looks like now they're setting up, this match to be official for the next NXT special takeover. And I imagine next week they'll probably have Charlotte defeat Becky Lynch or something, and then have Charlotte accept her challenge, and then the match is made official, etc. I just have one question, though. Is Becky Lynch really a good fit for this role? Because throughout the match and throughout the promo segment, she just looked awkward. She just looked like she was uncomfortable. I don't know, maybe it's just her lack of acting skill, because I know she's predominantly a wrestler, but if she's going to be in this role, they're going to need to repackage her a little bit, give her a little bit something different to wear that makes her part of this little new BFF team. She just, like I said, just looks a little bit awkward out there. I have nothing against Becky Lynch or Rebecca Knox, as she's known in real life, but, if she's going to be in this role, she needs to be able to act. I mean, I remember when Sasha Banks first come on this role and she was in the role with Charlotte, she had a real difficult time acting, but she got a lot better. So I'm only hoping that Becky Lynch will do that, as per. So we got the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Dragons versus the Resident Jobber Tag Team. That's what I'm calling them for now anyway. Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. And I must admit, I went into this thinking that it was going to be a mere enhancement match to showcase the Lucha Dragons. But I came out of it thinking, let's try and do something with this Murphy and Blake tag team, because I'm starting to really like the double team moves. I'm really starting to like the tag team, and I feel that if NXT, maybe give these guys a story, or, really give these guys a character as a tag team, you know, because they've got the tag team nailed right now in terms of their wrestling, in terms of their double team moves. We just need to establish these guys some sort of character. Maybe they can do something in the tag team division, because I was really impressed by Murphy and Blake. I really was, you know, and I think this is the first time I've really sort of sat up and, you know, really seen what these guys are all about, you know, because at the beginning of the match, it really seemed like they were showcasing Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake a lot more than the Lucha Dragons. And then you have the Lucha Dragons pulling off some insane moves towards the end to get to end the match. We had quite an insane move by Kalisto as well. It seems like he's going to be like the next Rey Mysterio type and, you know, succeeding possibly where his tag team partner quite ironically failed, even though it's a different person now, it being the former Hunico. But a nice match between these two. Came out of it thinking, man, I really want to see this Jobber tag team actually, you know, do something a little bit more than what they're doing, and that is just be enhancement talent. And the Lucha Dragons are now setting up to face the Vaudevillains at the next special. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, can we have a promo segment or something between these two? Or just something to really establish that these two really don't like each other. And, you know, or these four, I should say, going into that match. So after they announced that Sami Zayn would be getting his title shot against Adrian Neville for the NXT Championship on this show this week, the week after he defeated Tyler Breeze to get the #1 contendership, I'm sure I wasn't the only one that had the feeling that this match could have been some kind of device to possibly turn Adrian Neville more over to the heel side, especially after all those cocky promos he's cut. And not just that, but, you know, as a way to possibly get some heat in this feud, or this so-called feud, and get some heat on Adrian Neville and, you know, getting, like I said, more to the heel side. And that's pretty much what this main event was all about. You know, Adrian Neville was even getting some heat in the opening announcements where they announce who's in the match, etc. It seems like it's got to the point now where everyone loves Sami Zayn so much that whoever he faces is automatically going to get booed and is automatically going to be the heel. That's the way it kind of seems now with Sami Zayn. He's just playing that underdog gimmick or underdog character, I should say, so well that everyone is just behind the guy and everyone just wants to see the guy win the fucking NXT Championship already. You know, it's kind of similar to Daniel Bryan. You know, it's the thrill of the chase sometimes which gets you more emotionally invested than the end product or the end game. And that is why I quite liked what they did in this match, even though I didn't really feel it was necessary. And I'll go on to that later. The match itself, I like the beginning. I like the story they told in the beginning. You had Adrian Neville, despite his talk, having some doubts about being able to defeat Sami Zayn, despite the fact that he has been pretty confident this whole way through that he can beat Sami Zayn. It showed in the way he was going about the match that he maybe had a hint of doubt that maybe Sami Zayn had his number. And then, so that was the beginning. And then the match just seemed to kind of skip 5 or 10 minutes in the middle. I don't know where that went, but then we got onto like the ending sequence, and of course these two guys, they pulled out some, you know, nice spots and stuff, and then we get to the real talking point of this match. Adrian Neville goes to hit the Red Arrow, misses, and then he gets a knee injury. And I don't really know what to call this, and I think I'll probably put this in the title of the video. Neville pulled the ultimate real fake out to win the match and finally turn heel. I'll show you what I mean. They played it like he really had a knee injury. So I was thinking it was going to be just a fake out and that would be a way to turn heel. But it seems like he really did have a knee injury in storyline. But Sami Zayn just hesitated. And that's how Adrian Neville won the match. That seems like the story they were telling. I initially thought they were going for the great fake out with the injury. And Adrian Neville was going to go, yeah, I capitalized on this, blah, blah, blah. But they had the trainer come down to the ring. They had the referee do the X, which no doubt was a storyline. But, you know, we'd just take all this into consideration. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that happen in pro wrestling. We've had the fake out happen many times. But the real fake out, that's something new in pro wrestling. I've never seen this before. So it seems like now they finally found a way to put some heat onto Adrian Neville. And I like that shot. You know, I like the way the commentators were talking about, at the same time, Sami Zayn had some moral infighting and just hesitated, and because he hesitated, he didn't get the job done. So you've got two mini stories here. You've got, you know, Sami Zayn hesitating at the wrong time to win the match, and you've got Adrian Neville taking advantage of that to win the match. And sometimes the little things in pro wrestling and the little means of telling the story sometimes stand out to me big time. But I thought this was done very well and accomplished exactly what it needed to do. And no doubt it will lead to something at the next special event, and, you know, they'll have a rematch of some kind. I just wonder if there was really any need for these guys to give us this match and give a lot of what they're going to do away in this match, when it maybe would have been better if we just got this and more at the special event, which I'm sure we will still get. But I just wonder if maybe we could have built up some heat doing promos or some non-match related stuff, you know, while saving this, you know, very big match for a very special show, rather than just having it on free TV and kind of lessening the impact of it on the December takeover special, you know, whatever it's going to be called. So I do like the way they did this segment. I just wonder if they could have done it a different way. But I'm not complaining. I do wonder if at the next takeover special they will finally have Sami Zayn win the championship. You know, I don't know. Because I don't know whether NXT right now want to do something to have, you know, Adrian Neville go all the way heel and, you know, just continue this Road to Redemption storyline onwards, or whether eventually, and maybe save that real good moment for the for the show on the way to WrestleMania, maybe do it there, where it may have a little bit more impact, or whether they're actually going to have Sami Zayn win the belt and give us that real good, you know, real good final moment, etc. at the show. You know, essentially the end of the Road to Redemption. So they're kind of keeping me guessing as to what they're going to do. I really don't know which way they're going to go with this feud. I mean, I know they're going to have a rematch, but what are they going to do with that rematch, you know? Don't know yet. I guess it just depends on if they want Adrian Neville to be a full-blown heel, or whether they want to give us, give us that special moment for Sami Zayn, which the storyline has been telling us that he has been craving for some time, and he is just desperate to fucking win that belt. And I know the crowd at NXT at the Full Sail University are desperate to see him win that belt as well. Another good show this week for NXT. It seems like on the road to the December special event, they are really pulling out some of the stops. You know, I'm really excited about Finn Balor and the feud between, you know, with him, Hideo Itami, and the Ascension. That could be a good match, you know, at the next special event. I felt they did a good job here in showcasing, you know, Lucha Dragons and also Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. Quite interested to see if they were going to do anything with that tag team, as I think they really showed themselves as a tag team with a force right now. And it seems like as well they've added some feud to the Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville feud, which is the main feud on the show right now. So I can't really have too many complaints about this show. I mean, I was really wondering if NXT could top last week. I don't think they topped it, but they've definitely continued their good form going on into next week, and maybe, hopefully next week they can continue that onwards. We've got a really good string of shows right now. But granted though, last week's show and this week's show had some payoffs on it, which automatically makes the show a little bit better. When there's a title change, it always feels better on a pay-per-view than it does when the heel regains the championship. Kind of that thing going along right now. But hopefully NXT can continue this going forward to the December special event, because I think it's going to be a good one. I think this is going to be a very, very good and tasty-looking special event for NXT. If you have any thoughts on this show, please let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching if you have, and goodbye. See you next week.